Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode and a brand new season of Frozen Fortunes. And for once, I mean it when I say this, let's just jump into it. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about, and it has been a very messy summer period that hasn't really lasted that long when you consider how late our season actually finished. And our first game is today, the August 1st, which means we've not even had the Icelandic youth intake yet, which means I haven't had a chance to even go over there and pillage players. And you might be thinking, well, how are you able to pillage players if you've supposedly turned semi-professional? Well. So essentially, this is what happened. After last season, we obviously played through a little bit. I got through a few days because I wanted to see what would happen with that. And eventually the board came to me and they said, you know, we'd like to, based on the success that we've had, consider a move to semi-professional. So I attended the meeting. I said, yes, let's do that. And then they said, fine. The following day, I got a news article saying that the board will be ready to announce our semi-professional status on August 3rd, 2020. My jaw hit the fucking ground at that point because that would mean that we'd have to play a full season in the second tier in Danish football as an amateur side. And there was no guarantee. And even then, it was over a year to turn semi-pro. So I was just like, well, we're going to have to make the best of it and hope that we can somehow stay up as an amateur side and see what happens, essentially. But when the game ticked over into the sort of the new season, you know what I mean, when all the fixtures come out and you get that sort of scoreboard screen comes up with the leaderboards and stuff, and once you go over to that, then I had another news article from the board saying that they decided to go semi-professional now. So I don't know why they changed their mind or what that means or whatever. It might just be because we have to be semi-professional at that division. I don't know. So we are now a semi-professional side. You might notice as well that Fabio is a white guy now, which is interesting. It's just because of the cloud save. If I was to go in here into the profile page, for some reason they appear white, and then when you actually go into here, they're black again, and then whoop, he's back to black. I don't understand why it does that. It must be some issue with the cloud save. It's the only thing I can think of. While we're on that topic, you might notice that I'm now making a wage. Now, they offered me £600 a week, and I basically haggled them down to the least as I could, which was 220. That's what they were prepared to offer. I know that does affect your job security, but I wasn't going to take £400 a week out of this club because over the course of like a season, that's like 20 grand that I'd be taking from them. And we need that money for better things like, I don't know, youth players. So yeah, the club are semi-pro, and that's given me a lot of work to do over this summer because I had to go through and try to make every single player in this team put them onto proper contracts because I was not about to lose them. Now, something interesting happened when I tried to do that. Most of the big players that you'll recognise from our first team, they're all on proper semi-professional contracts. The biggest paid player of the bunch is Alan Franson, and you'll understand why. The guy is 5 stars now rated in this team. He is just getting better and better and better. He's on £210 a week. He is our highest paid player, and I think I've done a pretty good job at controlling the wage budget because that is literally virtually all he's on. He's got a couple of little bonuses in his contract, loyalty bonus and team of the year sort of stuff. Yearly wage rise, I wasn't too bothered because it would only put up to 230, and a top division wage rise, that's fine because by the time we get to that point, it won't matter. A few little bits and bobs here. But most of the other players, I got them on contracts without any bonuses for appearances. That's the one thing I was keen to avoid, appearance and goal bonus and stuff like that. I really did haggle them down on that sort of stuff because I think it's so important at this level that you do that. Most of which I learned from an article by the Northman, which I'm going to put a link to in the description because it goes over the way that you should sort of structure these contracts. Because a lot of people, I've found anyway, or I certainly did in the past myself, with contracts, particularly at a semi-professional level, you can get absolutely shafted by all the extras in the contracts. So I've been determined to try and limit that as much as I can. So you'll see, we've got a few players on a decent amount of money. Nygaard is on 150. Stefan Jonga Johnson, who's really improved. He's 4 stars in this team now. 130. Dimos 130. Benson. I basically went for as little as I could get them on. Bigler at 100 because he actually nearly left. Obro came in and said they'd like to take a look at him, and I said, no, we'll put you on a contract, and then he decided to stay. Also, Oliver Betzer, who still can't play till December, is on £55 a week, and Alfred Johnson, our goalkeeper, is on £35 a week. However, you might notice that these guys are all part-time as well. So what I noticed is that I was able to offer them £1 a week, and they would all accept it, which is good, I think, because that means that we've actually got them on proper contracts at least. So it should stop other sides from just swooping in and taking them, but we've got them on proper money deals. Some of them I think are on £0 a week, but they're still on part-time deals. So that should help us. Essentially what it came down to was any player that was a hot prospect or a youngster in terms of their squad status, most of which are, and a few backups as well, were prepared to stay on amateur contracts, which was fine, but I'd rather get them on proper contracts so we can move them on. But more importantly for the youngsters, if they're on a part-time deal, we can send them out on loan. My GeForce NVIDIA drivers now want to update, which is perfect. But yeah, so we can send them out on loan. So I've already sent a couple out to Ringsted, our affiliate side, and I'd like to get a few more of those if possible. And a couple of players have also gone out to Leasing, who, again, are the only, not Leasing, Leastrup, who are the only side that once again seems to be able to be putting in bids on our players. And that does bring me to a very important point. We still can't sign players from Denmark. I don't know what's going on with it. They keep saying that we don't have the financial power to offer them what they need to relocate or something like that. It's very annoying because, yeah, we can't do that. I am in talks with some loan players, which could happen. One of them went to Yamabukt instead. But I might have a look and send my scouts to look at the under-19s of some of the big sides in Denmark, see if we can't get a couple of loanees in, see if we can't do something, because we're going to need strength this season, and we've got plenty of wage budget to play with. These are the two guys that we're looking at on loan from Aalborg. Alan Sepeo, who we don't know much about them really, but I was just determined to see if we could get them in. But he is a wingback, which could come in useful. And Ronnie Nkata, who is a midfielder. There's a couple of Ugandans. A lot of Ugandans at Aalborg. I don't know if they have some deal with a Ugandan club to bring in youth players or something, but there's like 3 or 4 of them. There was another guy I was interested in who was a striker, the guy that went to Yamabukt, who we really could have done with because I just really want to strengthen in that area. But look, wage budget, $4,000 a week we've got, and 22k transfer fund. We're going to do our best to use some of it, but I'm really not that confident. We're going to look at the... I have signed some Irish players, but none of them were really that amazing to look at. But I have been able to actually do that because they will all agree to sign for us on an amateur deal. So all I've done is I signed them all on amateur contracts. If they're any good, I put them onto semi-professional deals once they get here, and if they're not, we can ship them off again. So we should still be able to pillage these nations, even while we're a semi-professional side, which gives me hope. But I have been forced to turn on the Swedish, Norwegian, and Finnish leagues all the way down as far as the game will let me, just to try and get some potential players, because I don't know why Danish players won't join us. I'm hoping that players from Finland, Sweden, and Norway might, just on a whim, just so we can actually have somewhere to sign players from until something changes with this. I really hope this isn't just some giant bug in the save that won't let us sign players from Denmark. I really hope that's not the case, but if it is, then we're just going to have to work on it, aren't we? Should also note that Alan Franson was the only player on our team that made it into the team of the year. In fact, only one player from Vidovre got in there as well, which was really strange. But hey, that's life. We also have a new kit sponsor worth £65,000 a year, I think, yeah, which is not damn bad. Plus, there's prize money in this league. Even if you get relegated, I think you get £80,000. So I'm really hoping we don't get relegated. But if we do, we'll at least make some money while doing it. I've just noticed that a couple of the players are a little bit annoyed at the collective win bonus that I put. I did put it down to the minimum one because I wanted to try and save money, basically. Hopefully it won't affect the squad dynamics too much, and that's something we may have to keep an eye on in future. I've never really seen that actually happen before, but I guess at this sort of level it's quite important for these guys. We were also able to finally organise some friendlies against other teams. Now, we did play a load of them against our under-19s and whatnot, but I managed to organise a friendly away at... Oh, I'm going to butcher this one. Maybe... Korga? I don't know. Maybe it's just Kog. But we won 4-1 there, which is impressive, but it was the first friendly of the season. We also won 5-0 against Silkeborg BK, who are, of course, a lower division side. We beat Listerop 4-1 and then put 7 goals past Öster Ulslev, which was an interesting result as well. Börje and Muller in that game getting hat-tricks, so that was interesting as well. And all that brings us to today. We're also getting TV money over the course of the year, which I think equals to like $100,000. Plus, every game that we get picked for television is a further £10,000. So we're going to be making some serious money this year, even with the fact that we're in our professional side, because we're not really shelling that much out in terms of money for the players. We're only shelling out really about maybe £500 or £600 a week, maybe £1,000 if you include me and some of the staff, in terms of actual wages at the moment. Now, that'll obviously improve or increase, but for the moment, we're being very fiscally responsible. I'm very proud of that. Now, this league seems to be a lot more straightforward. There's 12 teams in it. The winner goes up. The second 2 go into playoffs against teams from the top tier, and the bottom 2 straight relegated. No funny business there. Now, I do think, though, that after the 22 games, it does sort of do some weird split to go to 33 games. So we're going to have to play a fair number of matches this year, that's for sure. And weirdly, despite everything else, we're only 350 to 1 to win this division this time around. I don't know why. I think it's just because of the disparity. I actually have no idea. Vidovre only 201. Marianne List, who of course were promoted the previous season along with Frem. So there's actually a good shot here for us. I still feel there's a potential chance because Vidovre came up with us. Frem and Marianne List were both sides that were promoted the previous year. So there's teams that we can win stuff off against. That's my plan anyway. Because just taking a look at the last 2 seasons. So the first season of this, Tisted and Nyköping were relegated. 31 points would have kept you up that year. Last year, with Frederica, ironically, and Brabant were relegated, 28 points would have kept you up. So what we really need to be looking for here, I'm aiming for a point a game. That's what we have to try and do. But I think if we can get to 31 points, basically we want to try and aim for 33 points. If we can just average a point a game all season, we might have a shot at staying up. I mean, it could be one of those years where there's a massive amount or even a very few amount. It just depends. But I want to try and aim for 33 points. This is going to be a very different season to what we've experienced so far, because we are going to lose a lot. I'm guaranteeing we're going to lose a lot. We've just got to try and pick up points where we can. I'm not going to deviate from the tactics too much because I believe that we're capable of beating some of these sides at home. Perhaps not some of the big ones, but I feel like we can take points off teams like Frem, Marianlyst, even play teams like Skiva today, although we're playing away from home, so that's very unlikely still. But there's still a chance. You know, HB Kurga, we beat them 4-1 away in a friendly in pre-season. Okay, different players around, but it shows that we've got a little bit about us now, and the players are improving. You never know what we can do. If I had to predict, I genuinely think we're going to come 10th this year. I think we're going to do it, but we might do it by the skin of our teeth. It just depends. And I've also improved our youth recruitment yet again. The board were up for it. So now we're classed as established. So I really do want to keep pushing that because I think youth players are going to be, at the moment, the only way we can get Danish lads coming through. Now, it's the first game of the season, and Mikkel Nygaard, he picked up a knock. Franson and Nygaard both got injured in pre-season. Franson is back to business, but Nygaard isn't. And as a result, I think I'm going to go with Brendan O'Neill. I feel like he's got enough to take us forward here. He's already 2 stars in this team. I know he had that one performance before where he didn't play that well, but I believe that we can give him a shot today. I really do believe. Bigler better off the bench today. Einstein and Diamosa need to be swapped around so they're in the correct position. Don't know why it was doing that. Borup, Gregerson, Luke Campbell, my man, Gunnarsson at fullback there, and Gudjonsson in goal. Now, when Betzer is eligible to play, I'm going to throw him straight into this first team because you might notice here, I think he's already better. Yeah, he's already as good as Rasmus Borup is at the moment, and he's only 15 years old. I cannot wait to get him into this team. He's going to be amazing. But for now, that's what we're going to go with. I don't know whether I should start Stefan Young Gunnarsson. He's very, very good, and I don't trust Rasmus Kramer at all. I'd be tempted to maybe even start Tommy Peterson. Gravgaard, as you can see, has gone out on loan to Ringsted. I really do. He and Jensen, Kenny Jensen, have both gone out there just to get them some game time. They're not going to get game time here, but I want them to improve by getting them some game time. And I think that's really important for us to get players out on loan. If we could get another affiliate, that'd be ideal. I really want a senior one as well. So, question of the day, and today's question is this. If you could have one legend still be playing, living or dead, who would it be? And for me, or that you'd like to see play, that you never got the chance to, for me, it would be Garincha, the Brazilian legend. Just because of, if you look at videos of him online, he has a very bizarre gait in the way that he runs, but he was such an unpredictable player, and I would love to have seen him play. So let me know in the comments one legend that you would like to see play now, living or dead. And if you have any ideas for a question of the day, and I'm running a bit low on them at the moment, so if you do, drop those in the comments too with the hashtag QOTD. 15 minutes gone and nothing has happened. We've had one shot in the game so far. We are definitely on extended highlights still, but that's kind of what I want to see, frankly. Diamosa, not quite. Einstein, can he get a tackle in? Staring, Morganson, first real chance of the game goes to Skiva, but 23 minutes into this game, and we're looking all right. One thing I would say as well is it's great that we've actually got the league table back, and we will do now in perpetuity because there's no longer going to be splits in the league. We're doing all right, frankly. We're killing this game into absolutely nothing at the moment. We've had, 2 highlights on extended in the first half? We are definitely on extended, right? Yep. Don't know why we wouldn't be, but there we go. We need to do something in this second half, but I'm actually quite content with the way it's going at the moment. A point here leads into my whole point of game theory. That's what we need. Now, just looking at this, my assistant seems to reckon that a short passing style would be good for the second half, and at this point, I'm not entirely disagreeing with him. I'd be tempted to give it a go. Just why not? I am just going to turn it onto shorter passing. We can always turn this off later on if it's not working out for us. I just want to see if my assistant has anything knowledgeable to actually say here, or whether he's just talking out of his arse, as they often do on this game. Beersang. If we got a 0-0 draw here, I would be pretty content with that because it would be a clean sheet, and that's something we don't get very rarely, even in the previous division. So to get one in the second tier would be pretty damn impressive. Nobody's playing that well, apart from Dave Benson Phillips in the midfield. Hopefully he'll get his own back soon. Franson's ball in, cleared away to Einstein. There's a look at the space for the number 40 here. Diamosa. Oh, shot goes wide. We've played really well so far in this game. They've not had a single shot on target yet. 60 minutes on the clock. We just need one piece of, well, not brilliance, I suppose, but we could do with just anything from this game. I have a horrible feeling that they'll end up scoring with their first shot on target or something. Ball in, cleared away. Benson to bring it down. Lots of space here again. Benson with the long strike. I have them all on shoot less, except for our middle striker, so that's just them choosing to do that, I suppose. Don't foul him, win the header. There we... Ooh, okay, Einstein should get there. He doesn't quite. Cock out on the wing. Oh, no. Oh, that was the best opportunity of the entire game there, and they fluffed it. Right, substitutions are afoot. Einstein and Diamosa. No, Diamosa's playing all right, as is Benson. Those two are doing all right. Einstein's not having the best game, but the main issues, Bigler we're going to get in, and I think also Boyer's going to come off, and we're going to get Jakob Muller on in his place. Borup on the left side isn't playing too well. We do have Adam O'Toole here, but he is looking motivated, whereas Tommy Peterson's not. Tell you what, this is going to be the moment that I give him a second chance. Rasmus Kramer is going to get a second opportunity here after he very nearly cost us promotion. Franson knocked away. Kramer should get to this. Watch him kick at his own net now. Einstein. Ooh, long range one over the bar again. Shooting a little too much from range for my liking in this one. I'm going to encourage them. And then I'm also going to... I hope that works if you just push it. I assume it does to all players. I'm going to go to more direct passing because I want to see if we can find some of those guys over the top. That's generally when we're at our best, is launching some of those balls over the top. And we've got some pacey players on the pitch because Bigler is not exactly a slow coach. Of course, now we'll get caught out here. Harron. Campbell looks long. That's more like it. Oh, okay, maybe not. Diamosa into the channel for Franson. Can he square it for someone? Ball in. Cleared away. Diamosa's going to shoot from range, isn't he? Ooh, that wasn't actually that far away. Their tactic just seems to have been set up to try and sit there. This is an incredibly good performance on the road, I have to say. Bigler. Muller. Oh, he could have looked long for Franson. There he has, you know. Franson's in. Franson's in. Wait, it's a penalty. Sorry, he was running with the ball. We've got a chance with... Come on, Alan. If Alan Franson scores this, he makes up for the fact that he missed that penalty in the final game of the season. This is a huge moment for us. If we could win our first game of the season away from home, Franson steps up. He's hit the post. Oh, my God. Well, we should have won this game. We should have won this game. Oh, Alan. Oh. Why'd you do this to me? It's going to be a 0-0 draw. I think this might be the first 0-0 draw that we've had on this entire save at this rate. Harron, and there it is, 0-0, Skiva 0, B67 0. It's a good point for us, but Franson missing that penalty, that's devastating. That's such a shame. We could have had a chance to take our first win in this division in the first game. Hey, that's what can you do? It's just one of those things. We've actually scored quite a few penalties in this save, which is weird because a lot of people I've seen complaining about the fact that penalties seem to rarely go in. We do seem to be finally getting to that point. They look delighted in that, so we just need to encourage them. They've done well to get a point in the first game of the season. We just need to keep doing that, just averaging the points out. 1 point per game is all we need to get that 10th spot. Just a couple of wins. I mean, I think if we can get 5 or 6 wins and a load of draws, it should be enough. Maybe 7 wins. 7 wins, 9 draws? I don't know. That's the sort of thing we've got to be looking for. Just got to try and take our points at home when we can. Right, sorry about that, guys. My face cam died, and I don't know how much of that game it actually got recorded. Hopefully, it got a fair amount of it before it died. I don't know why. The battery's obviously on the blink, so yeah, you'll have noticed when it went away if it did. So, next episode, we're going to be doing the home game against Velia, because I do want to try to get through the seasons relatively quickly, so we keep up the pace that we've kind of been going on recently with the series. So, we'll try it out, and if it doesn't work and it feels like it's too much to do in the episodes, then I might have to shorten it down and maybe make this into 3 episodes rather than 2, because the idea is going to be we go from where we are to the Velia game for the next episode, and then after that we do the Roskilde for the last episode before the Christmas break. But that's a lot of stuff to get done in 2 episodes, so if I find it's a little bit too much, then we'll break it down into 3. That's the idea anyway, because remember, after this, I'm pretty certain we've still got more fixtures to come. I don't think... Oh no, that is with all of them, isn't it? Yep. That does seem to be the case. So that's not too bad, actually. So, anyway, guys, if you have enjoyed the episode, maybe drop a like on the video. That'd be freaking cool. And if you are new to the channel and this is the first episode you've seen, maybe hit the subscribe button for more episodes like this in your inbox on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays for now. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.